What's going on, everybody? James here, RedoptionAgency.com, 23 years selling full-time on eBay, and let's try something a little different today. Let's see if we can learn something from outside the reseller world, if you will, with the reactions. So, saw this video just pop up, GaryVee, 20 hours ago. 20 minutes of tactical social media marketing tips dominate in 2025. So let's get into this and see if we can pull anything from it. Again, I will share any past memories, stories, knowledge that this will trigger in my brain, along with whatever GaryVee is saying, to add context more into the reselling genre, if you will. So let's go.
Don't try to impress me or anybody else that you're going hard. I think going hard is finding the balance that works for you and your partner and the kids. Then it becomes a question of what are you doing when you're working? Are you good at executing while you're awake? It's not always how many hours you work, it's how productive you are in the hours that you work. There's some people that work 8 hours a day that crush people that work 15 hours a day because they're good at the 8 hours, and other people suck at their 15 hours.
I'm just trying to stand out on LinkedIn, man. I got a small family. I'm trying to spread time out, building the business.
Just starting.
Yeah, I mean,
I share my videos to LinkedIn, but that's about it. I don't have much time I don't have no time invested in LinkedIn on what it's capable of. I just share my videos on there. So maybe there's something more to it than what I realize.
I'm on it. I've been on it, but
you've been bullshitting.
Yeah.
All right. So what's holding you back?
I feel good at where I'm at, but I know I need to grow. But I feel good at where I'm at. I got kids.
Well, good. I mean, hold on. Let's talk about chapters in life. You've brought it up twice right now. Let's bring value to people. There are chapters in life. When there was times when I was starting my family where I didn't go as hard. I just wanted more allocation. There was times when I went harder, even though
I was just the opposite. Starting the business, taking care of 2 kids, working 16 hours a day, sleeping 4 hours a day. So I was just the opposite, raising the boys.
Have little kids. It was a moment in time. As you know, I don't really share my personal life that much, but over the last 20 years, I've had different chapters, different seasons in my personal life, and my business life has followed that. It sounds like you're solid. You have 2 kids under 5. I think you're in a nice spot right now.
How do I know when to go out of it? I've been in this for 2 years now. I kind of feel
2 years in the reselling world would be nothing. 2 years in the reselling world, maybe you start turning a profit now. So 2 years in you're still a baby in my eyes. 2 years into any kind of business, one would think.
And I'm not sure.
You feel complacent and worried that the business might decline because you're not going hard?
No, because it's still growing slowly. But I know I see opportunities that I miss, and I see where they go.
Tell me all the truths to the following questions. What time do you work?
I work all day, 4 days a week, from sun up to sundown, and then.
What time do you wake up every morning? Don't bullshit me.
5.
4 days a week? I could have swore there were 7 days in a week. When you're running a business, 80 hours for yourself instead of 40 hours for somebody else.
5:30.
Epic. And then what?
And then I take care of the children until breakfast time, so my wife can wake up.
All right. First of all, you're already in Father of the Year category. Keep going.
And then
I'd get up at 6, get the kids ready for school, get into the bus stop, come home, start working, pick them up after school, take them to anywhere they needed to go, extracurricular stuff, kept working, got my peace after 10 p.m. when they fall asleep. 10 to 2 was my peace time. I could just straight focus on nothing but the business at that time.
Serious.
I'm trying, man. I'm trying.
Does your wife work?
That'd be 10 p.m. to 2 a.m. and then go to sleep till 6 and do it all over again.
Yeah, she worked. I retired her from working. She's working full time for the company now.
Understood. Keep going.
And so when I'm not working, she's working on the business basically. And when
Amazing.
I'm with the kids, she's working on the business. When she's with the kids, I'm working on the business.
Oh, so what the fuck's the problem?
Say, what's
I don't know when the complacency should stop. I feel
It sounds like you guys are fucking. What are you talking about? It sounds like you guys are going fucking hard. You're either with the kids or you're working. It doesn't sound like you're doing anything else.
I'm never.
And it's about finding that happy spot. You don't have to, like I've said, you don't have to be a millionaire to be happy. You got to find your happy. It sounds like he's there. They're both working the business, making the payroll, taking care of the kids, and all he's worried about is not growing. Yet it sounds like he's doing enough to be happy.
Satisfied, Gary.
Well, good. That's fine. But like, then it becomes a question of what are you doing when you're working, right? So this no longer is this how many hours are you putting in. Now it becomes, are you good at executing while you're awake? Focus. So people are flabbergasted when I tell them that I sleep 7 or 8 hours a day, right? They're like, what the fuck? And I'm like, it's because when I'm awake, those 16 or 17 hours, I'm crazy efficient.
Yeah, I think that set a light bulb when you said it.
It hit you.
That's why I'm always preaching. Create systems that work better for you, that take seconds off of your movements. The more time you can take off of each step that you're doing, the more efficient you're going to be in the long run when it comes to taking pictures, listing, shipping, pulling, everything else. It's all about being as efficient as you can and not being it's hard working from home, especially if you have, pets or whatever. It's very easy to get distracted. So when you're not distracted, you have to stay focused and stay as efficient as possible, for sure.
You're right. You're just, and I've been in this moment, brother, where you're just going through the motions. You may need to hire someone to take care of your dumb shit. You probably can feel that you're doing a lot of dumb shit and need to be more on the attack. And I think that getting a minimum wage employee or something you can afford, I think could be a real hit for you. It's not always how many hours you work, it's how productive you are in the hours that you work. There's some people that work 8 hours a day that crush people that work 15 hours a day because they're fucking good at the 8 hours, and other people fucking suck at their 15 hours.
I got you.
Use this moment of serendipity that we're together to don't take this moment and now in a week be in the same place. Act.
I'm gonna go write a list right now of ways
but fucking act on the list, because the amount of fucking lists that people make that they don't do shit. You know what fucking pisses me off more than anything in life? A fucking list. A list that people don't act on. You better fucking execute.
You gotta whiteboard. Right here.
Fucking a whiteboard, a fucking list, a fucking 2024 notes on your fucking.
Tell you, notepad in front of you on your desk with everything you need to get accomplished, day by day by day. Make sure you knock it out. That helps keep you focused in on how many items you want to list, all the tasks that you need to get done, whether that's a dollar amount for listing, a certain number, right there in front of you.
iPhone, that little yellow fucking app that I never fucking use because I don't fucking make lists, I fucking do shit. Right. Don't fucking make me a list, my man, and don't do anything about it. I need fucking execution against the fucking list.
All right.
All right, my man. Love you. See ya.
I'm 34 years old, right? And I've been working with event productions for 5 years now. I like what I do, but I don't really love what I do, right?
You don't love it?
I don't love it, really love it. Is it too late to change my career path?
At 34?
I mean, I know what you're going to say, but
I didn't find my thing till 30.
Well, let me ask you a question. Instead of me saying you're young and you know what I'm going to say, what do you think? Because you're talking to somebody who changed his career path at 34. At 34, I worked in my father's liquor store building a business for him. And at 34, I started VaynerMedia. And just to remind you, we did $83,000 in the first 6 months of VaynerMedia in sales. So we were a very small company. You're talking to somebody who changed his career at 34.
So what happened is in Brazil, I had my own, advertising agency for 10 years. It was super hard to, grow that company. So I kind of want to go back and do my own thing, create my own business, but I'm kind of scared.
I got it. You're asking the right question. How bad do you want it? Most people aren't asking me, is it possible to change my career at 34, 39, 45? They're asking me, Gary, do you think I have the humility to live humbly for the next 3 years and eat shit to build up my future happiness because I'm in a jail called my salary and my status.
Well,
That's why I've always said for people who come from nothing, like myself, it's very easy to do that because you know what it's like with nothing. You started at the bottom. I could eat SpaghettiOs every day and survive, So people who are not experienced that could be a little bit harder to, a little bit more scary to go that route.
they're comfortable. I mean, yeah.
Alex, let me ask you a question. What do you want more? Do you want the fucking comfort, or is it burning a fucking hole in your heart that you want to live your future? And both, by the way, I'm going to say something very
Happy.
important, Alex. Both are okay. You don't have to go fucking shoot for the moon. Like, it doesn't seem like you're devastated.
I like what I do. I just don't love it. I mean, I think, I can do more.
My point of view is that you jump because if it doesn't work out for 3 years, you're 37, and you go right back to being a creative director somewhere else.
Got it.
That's the part that I think people miss. The part that people miss is if you go for it and you leave your cush and you sell your, like I'm talking about everybody now, and you sell your house and go rent, or you no longer go on nice vacations, or you can't buy every fancy thing, or you can't order out to dinner every night and use Postmates and fucking go out to dinner on Friday and Saturday, or you can't drink $35 martinis anymore. My point of view is if you go backwards and you go for happiness, love, you go for the thrill, you go for the upside. If God forbid it doesn't work out, you just go right back to a fucking job.
It's easier when you have something to fall back on to take that spot. Like when I was 30, I had nothing to fall back on. I was looking for my only. But yeah, if you got something to fall back on, that takes a little bit of the scare out of it because you can always go back.
Those are going to be always fucking of time. In fact, you're a more interesting candidate for a lot of companies at 37 trying it for 3 years because they've seen you done the other thing for 10 years.
Yes, I know what I mean. And I've been doing a lot of things like side projects and trying to do both things. But I mean, it doesn't work, right? You have to fully commit it to something. But I don't have the time. I work like 14 hours a day, 12 hours a day here. So
I think
you use those extra hours, though, to set yourself up to succeed in the direction you want to go, in my opinion. Say you're working someplace else, you want to become a reseller, so you're doing it part-time. You set yourself up to succeed. That means learning as much as you can about whatever field you're going into. If it's reselling, learning as much as you can about what you can find in your area to resell. Finding different people and how they source, if you can get that out of them. Find different places to source. Finding what you're good at. Set yourself up to dominate and not fail. Because if you go into something like that cold, it's going to be a lot harder to succeed. So when you're doing it the part-time way, do the basics to set yourself up so that when you jump in, it's a whole lot easier.
you should go for it because I think at 30, you'll always regret not going for it. If it's already bothering you at 34, you're very young and you can get that kind of job,
All right, got it.
All right. Good luck, brother.
So my question is, I've been trying to start a grief coaching business, but I'm dealing with my own grief and I'm sick all the time. I have COPD. My question is, how can I stay inspired and motivated when I feel defeated?
Well, it sounds very hard to start a business teaching others how to deal with grief if you haven't figured it out yourself. Literally, my Instagram post that I posted this morning is about having a strong foundation. I don't know if you saw the steel and concrete in the building. Couple things. Don't beat up your...
That's like people on YouTube trying to teach you how to sell on eBay when they don't really sell on eBay. You see a lot of these marketing channels, if you will, where they give all this different information, and then every once in a while they'll throw in this eBay one, how to sell, how to do this on eBay, when they don't do it. You got to be doing it yourself. You have to have it figured out yourself before you can sell it to somebody else, because anybody can sniff out fake.
Yourself, if you're not ready to build the business for grief. If I'm you, I'm figuring out my own grief first. So Christina, I think that you need to give yourself a little grace. You know what I mean? I think that there's a little bit more time. So many people try to start consulting.
Putting the cart before the horse, if you will. If you can't figure your own shit out, you're not going to be able to help anybody else figure theirs out. That's just plain and simple.
In coaching businesses.
Simple math.
On things they haven't haven't finished or completed themselves yet. You understand what I'm saying, right? I think it's okay for you to give yourself a little bit more time. In fact, I'd rather you put your energy into getting further along with your own grief than spending your energy on trying to start a grief coaching business. In fact, you know, even the way you asked the question, I think the answer to your question is to give yourself a little bit more time to get all the way there. Put your resources and your energy, your emotion and your monies to getting yourself into a stronger place. And then you can start from a place of authenticity, your own actually grieving business. Does that make sense?
Oh yeah, yeah. I was I had not a lot to my life. So my thing is a life coach, but I focus on grief because of the passing that I've had in my life.
I think that's beautiful that you're focusing on that, because I think so many people don't give themselves enough room, time, and grace when dealing with grief or a loss. So, baby, I think you just need to give yourself a little time. Honest.
As you've noticed, if you watched my channels over the years, when my dad passed, when Vern passed, they each took different times to grieve. I was making videos every day, and you saw it. You can't cut it short. You have to let it play out for as long as it takes you to get past that grief. And you can tell in health. I mean, I could see it in her face that she's not happy. So how could she train somebody else to be happy if I can look at her and say, this lady's not happy, I ain't going to believe a damn word she says, right? It comes across through body language, through just your overall appearance. If you are confident about what you're saying and what you're trying to sell. Can't bullshit a bullshitter.
And you cannot make grieving the central operating system of your life. It needs to be the side dish, not your main meal. It's very heavy. It's a negative energy. It's very heavy. Look, mashed potatoes and vegetables and green beans and mushrooms and asparagus, like salad, those are important parts of the meal. I'm not saying push it aside. I'm not saying put it all the way down there and not deal with it, but try to make it the secondary energy. Try to find, if you're grieving yourself and then your whole life is about being a grieving coach, you're just going to be fucking grieving a lot. And I think it's time for a little fucking joy. Do you understand? And like this smile that you're giving me is what I want. Like, I think you need to please find your balance. Okay.
Okay. I listen to you. I make reels. I make, theory for my LinkedIn content. I'm posting like 30 to 40 contents per day. But the thing is, I feel like, I've been stuck. I don't know how to innovate and be creative more. How can I make more content on TikTok? How can I make more content on LinkedIn? How should I proceed it forward? Just a little brief. My business is about pet industry.
Are you still doing the green screens?
Yeah, I do every day.
So I think you should go live. I think you should go live on Instagram and TikTok.
It's always about finding that different avenue. What I've been doing on this channel, doing videos like this is a new avenue for me to go down in order to try to pull out more information or repeat information that I've given on this channel on reselling and business and what have you. This is a new format for me to pull things out that maybe I didn't think of, to ring some bells, if you will, and to give me a new context on saying the same thing over and over again. Like I've been talking to you guys about finding that new avenue, trying to find different things to make it worth the while, if you will. So, yeah, for sure. Change it up.
Talk and answer people's questions. You should literally do exactly what I'm doing, because it will force you to make new content, and then you can clip it from your live and you have new content. You can break out of creative ruts by bringing the community into you and answering questions. Now you're receiving energy instead of creating energy. Instead of using your brain to create ideas out, you're using the community to bring ideas in. Do you understand?
And that's kind of what I'm doing with these videos. Instead of using it as a live, using this to bring in the ideas, to set off the neurons in the brain to go, aha, oh, yee, and get some new conversations rolling.
Understand?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
You got it?
And another thing, just to mention, I'm also doing my personal branding as well, where I'm posting on LinkedIn about my industry. I'm also doing this, my personal branding on LinkedIn as well, and on other platforms as well. It's just not about those 30 contents I'm posting. It's like 20 more of my personal branding, because
there's got to be more to LinkedIn than what I'm giving it credit for in my mind.
So as you said, content is not like how much you should post. It's like how good it is, how creative it is, and what kind of help or motivation it brings to the people.
Quality and quantity are both very important. But I think for you, my friend, what I can feel is you have to bring the community in. Start doing more lives and start doing Q&A sessions live, okay? All right, my friend. Love you.
I have a day job, but I am doing bartending on as my own company called The Walters. And I recently broke into more of the consumable side of things, started making simple syrup. I recently went to an event this past weekend and handed out a bunch. And there's this company called Not Your Average Joe's Coffee. They came up to me and they said they wanted to do like a partnership deal. But I started making the simple syrups about 2 months ago. And they have a ton of locations around Oklahoma. And if I do end up partnering with them, I'm going to need basically a better way to make them. First, how do I prepare for a partnership conversation? And secondly, how do I get to that size to where I can produce that much with almost upfront capital?
Now, here's something that I probably have no impact on. So everything here, I'm probably going to be listening because this is totally outside of my wheelhouse. So let's see if we can learn something from this stuff that we can incorporate into the reselling business.
Honesty and humility. Let's break it down. On the partnership side, it's honesty. Don't try to front and act bigger than you are. You need to tell the coffee company, I'm flattered as fuck, but I'm 8 fucking weeks in. Mm-hmm. I'm 8 weeks in. I know I've got it. You know I've got it, which is why you guys want to do something with me. But I have to be honest with you. I don't feel like I'm ready for that level of scale. And I want to be upfront with you because I don't want to let you down. What that will lead to, that level of honesty, may lead to, believe it or not, them being the people that want to put in the capital to help you grow. Like if you said that to me and I could feel that you're like, I felt it. I looked at the chat and someone said the kids got it. I literally felt, I don't know if you can see the goosebumps. I can literally feel like you've got it, which makes me think of a group of entrepreneurs or operators who built up that coffee company and probably know you've got it too. If you come in with levels of humility and honesty, like I just told you,
always, even we can break this down to YouTube content about eBay. Be honest about it all. You have so many people that go, well, I don't know what their selling costs are. They could be, buying it for 20 and selling it for 25 and saying they're making $3,000 or $300,000 a year when they're spending $225,000 a year to make that, or $250,000 or $275,000. And so if you can't be upfront and honest and transparent about your business, it's going to be hard to bring in those people to partner with, and by partner, I mean even on YouTube front, to watch you, to enjoy your content, to come back every day and watch your videos. That's how I'm linking these two to be the same type of deal. You got to be open and honest about who you are, period, and where you are.
May overly react and be like, oh fuck, we want to support this kid because we caught a future tiger by the tail, and they themselves may be the people that fund you and even help you on the manufacturing side since they're already there. And you're going to need a manufacturing partner. And that's a good game of Google and networking. In fact, email me at Gary@VFriends.com and break down what you're making. I'll send it to my people, and they'll give you 2 or 3 people that might be able to help you.
I will, definitely. Thank you. And
always tell the truth, even if you want to be in a place where you're like, whoa, like I get where like you don't know how to like fully play it because it's a big opportunity, but I'm telling you, the humility and the honesty, the double H combo of humility and honesty, when you're talking to somebody who's above you, always over index.
So basically I've been doing a lot of music video production work, etc. Grinding that out. I moved to Detroit when I was 18 for it. I was living in a studio apartment I made into a whole like music video setup. Was living there, showering at the YMCA, building up like an income for it.
Love it.
I ended up transitioning, getting in a house for myself, and then I've been working on scaling that. I've been actually, I just got my first retainer this week, moving to kind of like corporate. And my main question for you was, you know, like as you were creating your agency and doing and scaling it from the very start, what would you suggest for someone like me who kind of came from nothing, putting every dollar back into this stuff?
Well, I think the recommendation you don't need. You've already decided to go for it. It's all just perseverance and patience and making sure you over-deliver to clients. Make sure that you're communicating very heavily to this client the whole time, making sure what she or he likes and wants and needs. The other thing I would recommend is as you start bringing people on, I'm a big fan of bringing homies to the table. The first 5 or 6 employees we had at VaynerMedia were all my brother's friends from high school and college. So when you think about getting either
hiring friends can go the wrong way. If you don't have the friends who are driven like you, yeah, I would say don't hire friends. Been there, done that, and it didn't work out at all. So it depends on the friends.
Interns or minimum wage employees, or in those early days where you can't afford much,
try to get the bros.
Get the bros, get the sisses, get people that really, really, really fuck with you. Like, do you have people around you that are like,
my manager is basically my best friend. My grandma's kind of like my accountant.
I love it. Yeah, bro. I would start really with that crew. And honestly, it's going to be patience. The biggest issue, and this is why I always talk about it in my content, the only reason when I hear that level of fucking hunger, when I hear showering at the fucking, bro, no shit. Because when I hear showering at the YMCA, I lose my mind. Like, I want to invest in every person that ever showered at the YMCA because it's black and white to me, that level of humility and hunger. But the problem with the problem with hunger is oftentimes it's not coming with humility and patience. And people get fucked up. I've seen 22-year-old you get fucked up so many times in my career because you wanted it too fast.
That I was going down that lane for right around to the age of 18 when I made that move and go full on. I thought about it before I actually went about doing it for so long. So when you make that final move to say, all right, let's proceed with this and stop caring about everything else and just go full blown.
Yeah. When you go full blown and you can't hear anybody else, it's game over. The biggest issue for all 700 people that are watching right now and the tens of thousands that will watch this content in the future is they just give a fuck about other people's opinions. And they live their life based on fucking other people's opinions.
It's definitely easier to start a business 20 years ago than it is today. Just because you're so fixated on social media and what people think and how many likes you're getting and all the feedback, who cares? Just keep going forward. Turn off all the noise. It's nothing. You're down the highway, like my analogy says. I'll end this video. If you want to watch the rest, you can click the link below. The analogy of you're on a highway. Your content you're putting out is an exit ramp. By the time people are commenting on that exit ramp, you're 10 miles down the road. You might see a flower pop up. That's a comment giving you a flower. You might see a nice tree, nice bushes. You'll have your dead raccoons commenting. But you're already 10 miles down the road. You're already on to the next exit ramp. The next milestone, the next mile. Social media is there to add fuel to the fire. That's all it's there for. Don't use it as a measuring stick when it comes to comments and likes, right? Just keep going forward. All right, that's all I got for today. If you want to watch the rest of the video, you can click the link below. You can follow GaryVee, obviously. Click the links below. And please like this video, subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all in the next video. Later.